Hello everyone, I'm bringing you another unboxing video today, and in this video we're primarily looking at more East German kit, and this has been put together for me by Tommy Richter. He very kindly helps me out. There are many sellers on German eBay who sell items which I'm interested in who won't ship to the UK, and Tommy very kindly allows me to send things to him. He packages them together and then sends them on to me, which is very kind of him, going to that trouble. And as I say, it's very kind of him to assist in this way, and means I can order bits and pieces which I wouldn't otherwise be able to get my hands on. And obviously still quite interested in picking up bits and pieces of East German kit as an adjunct, sort of the opposing forces, I guess you could say, for my British collection. I always find it quite interesting. I occasionally have mannequins set up with obviously East German kit and British kit in comparisons. I've made videos on my main channel, Rifleman Moore, looking at that previously. So as I say, it's an interest of mine, and Tommy helping me out this way means I can buy things from German eBay which I wouldn't otherwise be able to ship to the UK. So we're going to have a look at what's arrived, and a big thank you again to Tommy. Without his help, these bits and pieces wouldn't have got here. So we'll have a look at what's arrived in these two packages now. So we have two boxes of bits and pieces to look at here. The first is easy to get into shot, the other one is a little bit bigger, so I'll show you this first of all, and we're going to have a look at the bits and pieces in here. We'll move this out of the way and we'll have a look at these various items individually. So the first thing to look at here are a set of these work gloves, and I've realised I've actually been sent two left-hand gloves here, which isn't correct. I should have had a pair of work gloves, so I'm going to have to get in touch with the seller and get them to send me a replacement. A little bit annoying that, but the reason for having these is they are army work gloves, and these are certainly used by railway troops in doing track work and so forth. I'm quite interested in East German railway troops. As I say, I'm annoyed that I've got two left-hand gloves here. I think that's a mistake. I'm pretty sure the listing had them as pairs of gloves, so I'll just have to go back to the listing, go back to the purchase of these and double check. But they are what they are. Hopefully I can sort that problem out and get a right-handed one sent to me. Or sent to Tommy and then sent on to me. So yeah, pair of what should be a pair of working gloves there, just something a little bit different. Very similar to the three-fingered strict-arm gloves, but work gloves specifically. We have here, not NVA related, but Der Kämpfer, which is the organ. You can see the Kampfgruppen der Arbeiterklasse, so the voice of the workers' battle groups basically, and you can see here it's the Kampfgruppen newspaper basically. So quite interested to have a copy of this. Be interesting to have a look through, and will be nice if I ever do a display of Kampfgruppen kit. It'd be nice to have this as part of the display, but historically interesting in and of itself anyway. A nice thing to have. A couple of things which aren't specifically East German related. These are a very simple design of pocket knife which are made in Germany. And they are of a design which has been around for many, many, many years. They're actually somewhat similar, different blade shape, but somewhat similar to those which have been found in Roman excavations of Roman sites. So a very long lived design basically, and these are still made in Germany. They have no locking mechanism. You have a little stud in here, probably just a nail, which the blade rocks back against, and then once you folded this out, you sort of just press it against whatever you want to cut and cut. So that's it. There's no locking mechanism one way or the other. They just fold up like that. I've got one of these for me and one for a friend for sort of English Civil War kit, because they are of a pattern which is sort of known to be around in the 17th century and much earlier, and going on after that into the 18th and 19th centuries as a very cheap pocket knife. And it just so happens that this particular design is still manufactured in Germany. I think they are sort of known something of a local thing where they're still manufactured. So a couple of those there. They're commonly referred to as penny knives, I believe, in the 18th and 19th centuries, but the design itself does predate that. So that's why I have those. A couple of things for the wash kit are a couple of flannels in different designs. So we have a smaller one there in sort of these bright colours. You can see this has a printed label on it there, as you can see. So we have a couple of East German flannels there, and this one, which is in slightly more subdued tone, would probably form part of the soldier's small kit. So just nice little items to add to the collection there. Don't take up much space, so nice to have, and add them to the soldier's small kit, as I say. We have here an officer's leather belt. Looks like it's in unissued condition. These were really common to find a few years ago, really common over here, but not so anymore. And obviously I want to add one to the collection while I can. So saw one for a good price on German eBay and That's been included there. Obviously still packaged up. Open that up and it'll be put to good use soon. Right, so we have here several cassettes. Now I was really interested with this. I like old consumer electronics, so I have some old 60s cassette players. Excuse the rustling in the background here, just while I open the others. They were packaged separately in a... There we go. So I was interested to see East German Amiga labelled. So Amiga is the East German record labelled there. Amiga producing these. I think it's pronounced Amiga. I don't think it's Amiga, but again, if anyone can advise on that, I'd be happy to know. Western music from various different bands. So we have Jimi Hendrix, fantastic. The Beatles, Creedence Clearwater Revival, who doesn't like a bit of Creedence, and Pink Floyd there, and the Beach Boys. So we have a selection of cassettes there, and I'd be interested to listen to these. As far as I'm aware, the cassettes are all working, so we'll have to see. Interesting Sony Hi-Fi sticker over there, and that's interesting. January 1986 stamped over. So just interesting thing with those. And as I say, I was just interested to find these. They're not uncommon on German eBay, and I may pick up one or two others, and possibly an East German cassette player as well. But they are all from Western bands, just to note there, or Western musicians, and probably the other ones I pick up will be as well. I was just fascinated, and they are not particularly expensive, and just a nice little bit of nostalgia, I suppose you could say, as is the common term in Germany for East German produced bits and pieces. And you can see they're all from Amiga there, as you can see on the spines. So I say I quite like cassettes anyway. I've collected various early cassettes from the 1960s from the West. These are later, but they are from East Germany, so quite interesting from that point of view. So what else do we have in here? Okay, so we have here shoulder boards, which are all individually wrapped, which I hadn't realised. So we've only got 3 there, but I believe the other one of these will be somewhere inside the box. These are all, the other one of this, these are all for the Volkspolizei Bereitschaft, of course the riot police, essentially, the barracked Volkspolizei. So you have those there, all individually wrapped in little bubble wrap. Not really necessary, but thank you to the seller for packaging them so well. Something we have here, I have a leather example of these, but this is the little document wallet, which is supposed to contain your ID documents. And this is obviously a strict arm example for MVA use. I do have a leather version of these as well, but I wanted to get a strict arm version, which I believe is slightly later. So nice to have that. And obviously it's on a little white cord to be worn around the neck. So you have that there. Let's look here. Oh, there's that missing shoulder board. So I have all of those now. Something that's in another little packet here is an officer's cap badge. You can see that there. The oak leaves. Rather nice. We have a fur collar for the winter uniform, and this is a conscripted soldier's fur collar, or faux fur collar. It's actually more of a sort of pile rather than faux fur, but this is for the winter uniform, which we'll be looking at in just a moment, which I've purchased. That's come in as well, so that's nice to have. I believe I have an officer's one of these already. I think I may have shown you that in an earlier unboxing video. So that's the enlisted, well, I say officer or professional soldier's collar, winter collar. That's the conscripted version there. Slight change of camera angle there. We've just had a minor disaster with the camera. The final thing from the box is a set of breeches, and these are in M48. I recently purchased a pair from a company in the Netherlands who sold me a pair of M48 1s or M48 zeros, one way or the other. Anyway, they were the wrong size for me because the -1 or -0 makes a difference. -0 is a size down and the -1 is a size up, so or just slightly up on the M48 size. I basically take an M48 in dress uniform. In combat uniform, I can wear M44 no problem. But in the more dress uniform items, service uniform items, I need the M48 size really. So we have a set of breeches there. Let's have a look at these. Just turn them over. So unissued. It's a shame because I did buy these to wear
but they still have the tag on them there. So I will probably end up removing that, but keep it with them. Obviously it is only loosely sewn on there. As you can see, the thread, the end of the thread is loose there. So I will be wearing these at some point, but yes, we have those there, the breeches, MVA breeches. And then from the second box, we have something which complements them, and something I've wanted to get for a while is a Fähnrichs uniform. Excuse me, again, the pronunciation is probably terrible there. I believe the umlaut over the A makes it Fähnrich. I think that's correct. So we have a Fähnrichs uniform, the Grenztruppen Fähnrich, and you can see here the shoulder boards there, single star there, so Fähnrich as opposed to the more senior grades. Just Fähnrich, and then we have the badge, the arm badge there. But this is a interesting one. It's a Hauptfeldwebel. So this is an appointment, and the braid around the cuff here. This could be worn by senior sergeants, or in this instance a Fähnrich, and this was for basically an appointment equivalent to company sergeant major in Western armies. And it isn't a specific rank. This doesn't increase the rank of the individual. It merely shows their appointment. During the Second World War, this was shown by two braids in the Heer, in the Wehrmacht, and then obviously in the MVA that was changed slightly. So you'd see senior sergeants appointed to this position with this braid around the cuff, or Fähnrich as we have here, and then we have the Grenztruppen cuff title on top of that. And this is of course an officer's grade or professional soldier's grade uniform jacket. It's an M48 again, so my size. Very nice to have, a lovely thing. As far as I'm aware, this is original. I don't think this has been put together. The stitching and so forth looks pretty good on both the cuff title and the braid around the cuff there. But obviously looking at this, if you can tell from the details in the video, if anyone would like to comment on the authenticity, I'd be interested to know. One way or another, it's a nice thing to have. Obviously the arm badge is sewn on by hand there rather than machine sewn, so I don't know if that indicates anything particularly in need of a good press, but that's a lovely thing to have there. Move this out of the way. Next two items we have in here should be the winter uniform. I think they are. Okay, so yes, we have the winter jacket here, which is Stricktarn, so this would be a 70s version of this. You can see we have the arm pockets here with the exposed buttons, nice knitted cuffs there, as you can see. Very nice condition is this, probably never issued, certainly looks like it. And then this is an M44 if I remember correctly. It is. So in combat uniform I can get away with M44. It's that little bit cheaper to get hold of because it's a small size. I'm pretty slim, so I can get away with it. So we have the jacket there, and we also have the padded trousers that go with this as well. And these are really quite nice quilted garments. You can see in there, quilted and lined. Obviously Western armies tended to use separate liners, whereas in East Germany they have this padded winter suit for use during the winter months, and I believe these are quite warm when warm with other layers underneath them as well. So you have the trousers and the jacket from that there, and that is everything that's arrived. So there we are. So I hope you found it interesting looking at these bits and pieces. Obviously many of these will be covered on the channel in more detail, hopefully in the not too distant future. So if you'd like to see videos covering that as well, please do consider subscribing to the channel if you haven't already. And whether you're newly subscribing or you've previously subscribed, please do make sure you hit the little bell, the notification button down below. And that will of course alert you when I upload future videos. That's everything for this video, so until next time, bye for now.